Hey everybody, this is Street Monk. Hey, been about 4 days since the war over in Israel. I just want to give you a little brief summary. I mean, um, it's all over the news if you find the right news. But if you don't have too much access to news, look at my site, and I have all these wonderful guys that talk about all issues, Christian and political issues, even mixed both. Look through my stuff and find out who I subscribe to. Excellent resources for what's going on in the world. All news in the United States and even Mexico through Univision are propagandist tool by the communists. And I'll always push Islam because Islam is behind all this. It's very hard to pick them out unless you really look for them. The latest Palestinians, which aren't really peoples, in the 60s, they were given that land over by Israel for peace sakes. But it was only a trick by the Arabs to get close to Israel. Israel is just like it's as big probably as a Orange County or San Bernardino County. It's not that big of territory. And then you have the rest of the United States, for example, in that example, are Arabs. In other words, the Jewish community is surrounded by the Arab peoples. And I would say Persians as well. Now, what happens is that not too long ago, a few days ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago, Joe Biden released $6 billion to Iran, which was being held because I think they had that problems with Iran trying to build nuclear weapons, and they were pretty much stopped, and billions were held from them, and kept in Qatar. Qatar, I think they're like the number one sponsors of terrorists. Kind of yet to confirm it, but that's what I was told and what I read. And you know, giving them all this money is like to hold. It's not the brightest idea from our government, but so be it. Anyways, Biden has released those $6 billion to Iran not too far long ago, a couple of days I hear, and since then we've had this major fight going on in Israel. A lot of Arabs flew over, kind of like one of these movies, The Matrix, kind of, or 007. They fly over in a parachute type thing and loaded with machine guns and everything, annihilated thousands of people. Right now, the total is about 1,200, and injured are several hundred so far. Children, babies, were found beheaded in the cribs. Small children murdered and also beheaded. Women raped and taken as hostages. People were tortured, dismembered. Anything horrible you could think of has happened. The Palestinian, the Arabs came over, blew a hole in the walls. They came over by land and by air, loaded with machine guns, American-made machine guns, and just annihilated people after people. Just horrible stories you get. And at the end, they're holding hostages. I believe Biden released about 5 or 6 Iranian hostages and gave them, once again, billions of dollars in return, for American hostages. And there was a trade-off, and they paid billions for that as well. So the U.S., of course, is doing a lot of funny things under the Democrats, under Barack Obama's third term, we can say, and we're going to see more of this. I was thinking the other day on how the open borders invite over, terrorists, the walking platform for terrorism to come through. As you know, you look at the pictures, the majority are all men of a military age, 13, 14, and on up. They're all coming over. All you see is men, 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 men. Teenagers and men coming over. Of course, you have the terrorists, the narco traffickers that make a lot of money. Of course, millions and millions of dollars bringing them over. China's bringing over the drug trade, fentanyl. That's ravishing our people here. Then you have pedophilia, pedophiles coming over. No, taking all those, separating all the children from their parents, and they're taking them into their homes, and we're not hearing of them. That's a big thing. The movie out just came out about that, but it's been known for years that they're being brought over by our government and given to all these people who are not relatives or not related to these children, and handing them over for a price. These kids are never followed up by our government, nor are they investigated at all in any way. Lahaina is an example of that, on how the indigenous peoples were burned out of that area. Children were loaded up, it appears to be in buses, about 8 buses, and those buses, nor the children were ever recovered, or 1,000 children. So we're surrounded by pedophiles in our government, and just moving to take over more children. Of course, the church, our church as well, is loaded with them as well. So we can't complain too much, but it's horrible, horrible times out here. Now, latest I heard, I've been hearing about Dearborn, Michigan. It's just one of the main spots, primary spots for Muslims, and they're pushing not Sharia law, which is a murderous law, but they're making fun of it and calling it something like shawarma law. They all get together and talk about politics, family, culture. Is that what they say? But I think it's just a meeting grounds for continued expansion into the U.S. So I better get going. My arm's hurting. So we'll talk later.